All right. Okay, so I know some folks will be joining on the replay, so we'll keep things. Today won't be too long, but really mainly what I wanted to do was welcome everyone to the first Momentum Hub live group call. Like I said, the replay is probably going to be where I'll catch most of you guys. So of course, feel free to comment. You can comment, engage, like, do all those things on there. If there's questions that come up, please ask. But you can think of this time as kind of like a moment for you to realign, for you to refocus, for you to reignite whatever energy you need for your business. So, we're talking about momentum tonight. So, exactly what it means, how to recognize it, like when you have it, and of course, how to keep it going. So, like, even when, whether it's life or fear, whatever it is that tries to slow you down. So like, what is momentum, right? Momentum is essentially like a measure of motion. So we're talking about combining mass. So mass could be like how heavy or how meaningful something is with velocity, which is how fast it's moving. So in your business, your mass is everything that you've built. So this is your skills, these are your experiences, your audience, your offers, and then the velocity is how consistently you take action. So that's why I named this hub the Momentum Hub, because I feel like, some of us get caught up in this cycle where we gain momentum and then we stop. And we gain momentum and then we stop. But what we really need to be doing is continuing with the momentum, because you can't gain momentum if you're standing still. So you've got to push. And then it's really that first push that takes the most energy. So you could think of your business like a car, right? So like if at first, like let's say your car dies or whatever, you've got to push it to get it rolling. So at first, you're going to have to push really hard to get it rolling. But once it is moving, it takes far less effort to keep it going. So that's why I want to say, like, the hardest part is starting. But if you keep that stop and start pattern, pretty much every time you stop, you're going to have to use a bunch of heavy effort to get going again. And that's what drains people and makes them feel, really just not great about it. They feel like, oh, I tried and I couldn't do it. But it's not that they can't do it, it's just that they're not riding the wave for momentum. So we're in the momentum hub. And so we really want to emphasize that you got to recognize when you are gaining that momentum and keep going. So you might notice like you're in a flow. There's like you got new ideas coming in, you've got opportunities that just come out of nowhere. People start to reach out, people start to ask questions, right? That is your sign to not hit the brakes. This is your sign to keep your foot on the gas. So, momentum means that it's time for you to go harder and not coast, right? This is your time to use that energy that you've already accumulated and keep moving forward. So, if you've been feeling like unsure about your business, I want you to remember that fear is going to keep you exactly where you are. It does not move you forward. It's going to keep you stuck. So when we think about that, okay, like how do you move through fear if fear is something that you're working through? Number one, I want you to get clear on your why. So, like, why do you want your business? What do you want your business to do for you? Like, what kind of life are you trying to build with this business in that picture? So, the bigger your vision, the longer your momentum lasts. So that's why I say, like, definitely dream big, and plans are super, super important. But more than anything, it's your North Star, it's the direction, it's your why. When you get into doing the things for your business, some of them are so tedious, some of them could be so stressful, so nerve wracking. A lot of self doubt comes into play because you kind of feel like you don't know what you're doing, right? But if you're looking at your why are you doing this? Is this so you can build generational wealth? Is this so you can provide something particular for your kids, help them go to college? Whatever that is, you'll be able to return back to that every time you feel these moments of doubt, because I guarantee you will feel the moments of doubt, but your why is going to be helpful. Number two, set intention. So this is going to lead to your plan, and then your plan is going to lead to the steps that you need to take to get to your goal. So number three is defining your goal. So after you've set this intention now, it's going to help you to create the goals that align with it. So like, do you want your business to run itself? Or do you want to hit a certain dollar amount with income? Do you have a goal for that? Is there a certain amount of people that you want to impact? Like, you really should be honest about what success looks like for you. So, not what other people are telling you is a sign of success for your business. No, other people aren't running your business. You're running your business. Your business is an extension of you. Your business is your baby. So, we want to be clear about like, your why, your intention, and your goals here so that you can make sure that at any point in time when you're overwhelmed with doubt or fear, you can return back to yourself and check in with, okay, why am I doing this? And making sure, like, yes, I'm game to keep going with this, because you can keep going. It's just negative thoughts that sometimes trick you into believing that you can't do it. But really, like, your brain is going to always think that you can't do things that you've done before. It's your mental, right? So, number four in this, don't overanalyze. So, plan, yes, but I don't want you to get stuck on planning forever. So, you don't really need all the answers. Like, you really just need to take the first step. So, like, really, once you get clear on your why, your intention, your goals, don't overanalyze it. Take the first step. Okay. So it sounds simple. I know when I'm talking about it, like, oh, just do the thing, right? I understand there is mental gymnastics going on for you to basically convince yourself to get up and do the thing that you said you wanted to do. But when you think about your why now, when you think about like how not taking a step towards your business or working on your business is going to keep you where you are, it's like, hey, it's almost like you're doing a disservice to you. So you're not disappointing anybody else but you. Like, no one's going to be as affected by it but you. You're going to keep thinking about it because there's a reason why this idea for this business dropped into your mind. And this is why it won't go away. And this is why every time you're like, oh, I was supposed to do that. Yes, I keep thinking about that. Yes, I was going to do that business. That's why it keeps circling around, because it's meant for you to bring it into this physical reality. So, keep that in mind when you get overcome with fear and doubt. I remember when I first, so I actually started this consulting business in 2022. But I actually didn't really get this thing moving and going until like late 2024. So I just want to say that to say, like, I have been where a lot of you have been, where it's, you need to build this thing because it just won't leave you. The idea won't go away. But you might be scared. You might be overthinking it. You might not think you have what it takes to be able to do it. You might think you're not qualified. Like, all of these are things that, yes, they can be true to an extent, but they're only really true if you believe them constantly. So there is going to be some mental work that you can do to combat that. For me, at the time, I had started going into therapy. And therapy was really where I started to realize, wow, like, I'm kind of really harsh on myself. I'm also making up a lot of excuses as to why I can't do this business when really I'm already doing the work for other people for free. So think about that when you're thinking like, oh, I'm scared, but it's not too late to keep going. It's not too late to pick back up the torch. It's not too late to get the car running again. You're already in the right place to do so. So, how do you gain and how do you keep momentum? Number one, action first, motivation later. And I know most people, they basically try to wait to be motivated. They're like, oh, I don't have the energy right now. Really, that's backwards because the action is what is going to create the motivation. When you do a little bit, then you see the results. That is what motivates you. So, really, what you need to do is do it scared, do it friggin' terrified when you're not really like sure if you could even do it. But the action is proof to yourself, it's proof to your mind that you can do the thing, right? And as you keep doing it, as you start walking, then you're jogging, then you're running, then you're sprinting, right? We got to work up to this. You can't wake up and be a tycoon, a multi-million dollar, multi-millionaire tycoon like that. I mean, hey, you can try to manifest it, but it's not common. Okay. So if we're being realistic about ourselves, a part of doing this business thing and being a business owner, the journey is really what people are interested in. They hear, oh, yes, now you're a millionaire over here. But really, what you're being interviewed with in the future down the line is the journey. How did you get from where you are today to where you are in this future version of yourself? Okay. So, action first, motivation later. And then number two, stay consistent. So if you're trying to gain and keep your momentum, we all know the consistency is going to be key. Okay, so momentum is it doesn't mean that you get to relax. It doesn't mean that this is time to cruise and coast. Oh, I'm moving a little bit, now I'm good. No, this means that now you're in like a rhythm. Okay, and we need to protect that rhythm. We need to create the habit of working on or in your business. So you're going to need to build it into your week. You know, the same way that you schedule anything else that's important, you got to build it in. You got to make it a part of your lifestyle. You're becoming a version of yourself that's not here right now. And so that version, it's got to match with some of the actions that that future version of you does. That future version works on her business when she gets up, 2, 3 days a week because it's just as important as anything else she has going on. So you are not too busy. And I've heard that one time and time again. I'm too busy. There's a lot on my plate. But it's when you start to take these small actions to create the space, the dedicated time for it, all of a sudden things will shift in your schedule to accommodate for you now wanting to focus your energy on building your business. So it's time to get intentional about where your energy goes. That is how you gain and keep your momentum. So I want to emphasize too, this is the point where you want to put back on your learning hat, right? Like I don't want to say we're not in school, but you could think of yourself as a student again, right? Without overwhelming yourself. But this time, like you are creating the curriculum. So you need to learn what lights you up, like what your business actually needs. So you're going to have to learn how to take care of your new baby. You're going to have to learn how to build it. You're going to have to learn about the tools. You don't have to learn everything, right? I do want to point that out. You don't have to learn everything, but as the CEO, as the boss, right, you learning a little bit of one thing is going to help you to find the right people to support you with the aspects that you actually don't want to do down the line, right? You can't hire somebody if you can't tell them what you need them to do. I mean, you could try, but it might not be that fun trying to navigate paying for stuff, paying for someone to work for you, and they actually don't know what to do. So the learning is not simply just systems, right? You're also learning things like leadership. You're learning how to talk to people. You're learning how to advocate for yourself. You're learning all the different areas maybe in your town that support businesses like yours. Okay, you're expanding your ecosystem to now accommodate all of these new things that are related to your business. So it seems like I'm inflating a lot of this, but if we're talking about making millions, I've heard a lot of my clients have these goals of like, yes, I want to make millions. You can do that. You absolutely can do that, but it's going to take you expanding yourself as a person, growing and evolving in order to accommodate that version of you that is a millionaire. So, what this means in terms of learning, right? Like maybe this is listening to a podcast a few times a week, right? Just do a little bit of Googling, see what's out there. Maybe you're reading a chapter of a book before bed, or you could attend like some sort of like local meetup or like an online class. Like these are small moments. Like all of these things that I just mentioned, they don't even take an hour, but you're still putting in a little bit of effort towards building your business. So, like I said, you don't have to learn everything. All you're going to be doing really is following these breadcrumbs. And sometimes they're going to lead you to like that right mentor or that right mastermind or to this momentum hub that really helps to accelerate your path. So, a big component too of you keeping momentum, gaining momentum is accountability and support. You need accountability partners. You cannot do this by yourself, especially if you want to make money. The money is coming from other people. So, a part of that is really going to be relating to others and also having accountability partners, people who believe in you and your business and your vision, people who support your growth. They don't drain your energy, right? They're not projecting fear because a lot of people are like, oh, you're going to start that business? Are you sure? Like, do you even have experience with that? Those type of people, get rid of them. You really don't want to even be talking to them. You don't want them in your space like that because it really is a projection that's going to seep into your mental. But you want to surround yourself with people who are uplifting and who know the goals that you've set for this business and are holding you accountable to them. So this could look like a spouse. This could look like, your spouse is taking the kids out while you're at work. Or this could look like a friend who maybe goes with you and does like weekly co-working sessions. So a parent, this could also be a parent that helps you at like events and things. Like really don't try to build your dream in isolation. Because like I said, you're not meant to do this alone. So you're going to want to be using all the accountability aspects, partners, support networks, all those things. This hub is a really good space for you to create a network for yourself. Okay. So we touched on mindset a little bit ago because I mentioned how, there's going to be a lot of mental just gymnastics going on about what you're doing, how you're doing it, how long it's taking you. Maybe you're not making a whole bunch of money, right? So, like, mindset is going to be something that you're going to want to cultivate a high vibrational version of, a positive mindset. So, I want a lot of you to think about some of the things or try to remember some of the things that come up and think of I guess the response to that, right? Like, are they really true things or are they things that have just been replaying over and over and over again? So notice the excuses that you've been using for not working on your business. I want you to name them and I want you to release them. Okay. Another thing, stop pretending like you don't know what to do next. Okay. I know I get a lot of questions like, I don't know what to do next. Like, what should I do next in my business? So that's great. We can work together to clear out some of the clutter, some of the stuff that you have in your head about, oh, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. When do I do this? Like, all these different things is just really, it's going to complicate a lot of stuff for you, right? But you actually do know the next step. You know, there's a bunch of other steps you got to do, but really what we're focused on is just the next step. So you do know what the next step is. You just haven't given yourself maybe the stillness or the permission to listen and then to take the action for that step. So what you can do to really cultivate some mental clarity is create space daily to receive. So that means you can do it in a meditation. You could do this in a walk. You could do this in journaling. You can do this in prayer. But give yourself moments to listen, to get clarity on just the next step. So pay attention also to your dreams and downloads. Okay. So a lot of if you ever look into stories for success stories for people who have done really well with business, some of them will even talk about the messages or the things that they do in their dreams, you know even all of the things that have been created, these things were imagined. They were dreams. They became physical when someone brought it into the physical, created it. So I want you to pay attention to your dreams and the downloads that you might receive, because momentum isn't just physical action. It's really energetic alignment. You're in alignment with the things and tools that you need in order to build your business. So mindset and alignment is going to really help you as well. And then challenges are always going to come up. by the way, so you can already start to prepare for it. We already know we got some of that negative self-talk that tries to infiltrate, but challenges are also going to come up when it comes to building your businesses. We're not going to call them problems, we're going to call them challenges. But momentum is what helps you to smash through these obstacles faster, right? You know, as the vehicle, as a car is picking up speed, anything that's in its way as it's picking up speed, it starts to knock them over quickly, easily, right? The car literally can't even stop itself, right? That's what momentum we're trying to ride. So you got to stop overthinking every setback because when you get too focused on those things, it prevents you from moving forward. So take all of these setbacks simply as lessons. Every mistake holds a lesson. So I want you to see it. I want you to integrate it, learn from it, apply it, and then keep going. So you're not failing. You are never failing, actually. You're learning. You're learning, you're evolving, and you're growing. So we might also notice that some businesses give birth to others simply through the experience and the process of building that first business. Now you've created another one. So see challenges as really like opportunities and don't overthink too much when it comes to setbacks. All right. So before we wrap up, I just want to highlight this month's resource. So I dropped it's about mapping the client journey. So you can kind of think of that as like your roadmap for where your business is going next. So if momentum is the vehicle, your client journey is more like the route. So it's going to help you to see clearly like where people are discovering you or connecting with you or buying from you, like where they become your loyal like advocates. So take some time, go through that resource, map out where your clients currently are and where you want them to go next. So, this is going to help you to really focus your energy on the actions that actually move the needle instead of just doing like random busy work, which is sometimes what we can get caught up in where we think we're working on or in our business when we're really just doing busy work and distracting ourselves. We're not focused. We don't know what our intention is for the moment of the work, but we're just doing things and wondering why our businesses aren't growing. So I want to give an example too. Like when I did the client mapping, I like mapped my client journey. What I was realizing is that a lot of people were getting stuck between the discovery phase and like purchasing. So essentially like they would find me, they would learn about me, and then they wouldn't necessarily go to purchase or to work with me. They wouldn't, purchase a service, a package or something. So what I did was I looked into it first of all because you can do some research to see like why would clients do this, and you're gonna have to test different things to see what is going to help. So I ended up creating like a simple follow-up email sequence, and that one shift is what ended up bringing in new sales for me. So that really is the power of clarity and how you can use this tool to really refine how your client moves through the process of working with you. So some closing takeaways here. Number one, action first, motivation later. Okay, just take the first step, take the next step. And even if you feel like there's a bunch of stuff and you just don't know which one to take a moment and write them all down. Or you can type it out, whichever one is easier. And then I want you to go through each one of them and rank them up with importance. And if you're on the computer, you can even take them, copy, and move them around so that you can see really what is your priority. Whatever's at the top, whatever's number one, that's your next step. So action first, the motivation will come. And the motivation, you'll see it. So you'll know you're motivated. Number two, consistency creates momentum. So just keep going, keep going, keep going. You falter, keep going. You get nervous, talk to your support system, come in the hub, express what's happened, right? But consistency is going to help you to create the momentum and keep it. Number three, do not stop. Keep your foot on the gas, okay? We are in that period of putting our foot on the gas. Otherwise, you would not have joined this space. So you're ready to hit the gas. You're ready to cruise towards your goal, which is the finish line. And number four, keep learning. Stay in the energy of your business. So as you keep learning and as you expand and as you expose yourself to other ideas, to other people's stories, to other tools, other systems, other softwares, other masterminds, all of these things, it's in the energy of your business and it's only going to contribute to more growth. And then number five, surround yourself with accountability and support. So that's what this is. So you've made it into the hub. You've already gained momentum. So you basically chose to step into a space that's designed to support your growth. So now I want you to keep taking aligned action and watch your business flourish. So I'll talk to you guys later.